Okay, so in today's video, as you saw probably by the thumbnail and the title, we are checking out the Eternal Divinity Lucky Draw. Has the legendary High character skin, and of course the legendary for the new melee is the size. So yeah, of course I couldn't do a side gameplay. So yeah, of course if you do go on to enjoy the video, make sure to of course like and subscribe. And of course the side is a secondary weapon, so I couldn't really do a full gameplay of them. So the other weapon skin you get in the game in the Lucky Draw event is the M13. So yeah, that's going to be going using today's video. So if you do want my M13 loadout, then make sure to of course stay tuned to the end for that. And let's get into the video. So today's shoutout goes to Soul Collector Gaming, and they have 255 subscribers at the time of recording this video, and yeah, they do many multiplayer race content. So if you do go over and enjoy any of the videos, then make sure to of course like the videos you do enjoy, subscribe to the channel if you do enjoy the channel in general. Of course, the links are down below in the description and up on the screen here. I'll put them up on the screen here as well. Make sure to, of course, go over, be supportive, be positive, support them, and give them tips on how they can improve their videos, and be positive and tell them things they are already doing correctly. So yeah, if you do go over and make sure to be positive and supportive. And let's get into the video. So I might as well include this in today's video, since we are talking about the new legendary, the new melee, the Psy. And then of course legendary got. We're going to show you how to get the free version of the Psy. So yeah, we have to go into of course the events tab, seasonal events, and then it is the Psy of Relief. Quite a nice name there. And then we have to use the UAV score streak 3 times in multiplayer matches. We have earned 1,000 points due to score streaks. We have killed 5 enemies with melee weapons in multiplayer matches. We have to kill 10 enemies with the Shadow Blade operator. We have kill 15 enemies with a melee weapon in multiplayer matches. And the last one is kill 15 enemies with the Psy. I've done all these, of course, and that the final one's not compulsory to get the Psy if you do just want the Psy, but you will complete that if you do use the Psy. The hardest one was probably to earn 1,000 points through score streaks. That's quite a lot of points you have to earn. So it took me a couple of games. It wasn't necessarily difficult unless you do struggle to get score streaks. It's not necessarily difficult. All you have to do is literally just use score streaks that give you points, like stealth choppers, even UAVs and stuff like that. They're really helpful. And yeah, well actually, I think any score streak would give you points. But yeah, the ones that give you points faster is like stealth chopper, chopper gunner, Goliath, stuff like that. And then it was the actually I might probably get 10 kills with the Shadow Blade operator skill, was also quite difficult, but quite a long one, but not quite as long as the 1,000 points one. Neither of them were difficult. Just use the Shadow Blade operator skill honestly, and yeah, you're free to, and you're home free. But it took me like I think it took me a couple of games. Also, one thing with this one is if you want to use the base Shadow Blade operator skill, I found, because I did use the mythic one to start with, and it didn't, because of course you have the mythic the Mythic Spectre. You did use the Mythic one, and it didn't count towards the challenges, so you just want to use the base Shadow Blade. So yeah, but yeah, overall not too difficult. Can take you about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how much you focus on the challenges. But yeah, really easy to do. And yeah, now let's get into of course the lucky draw. Probably open it first, and if there won't be any gameplay like commentary over the game opening, I don't think I got luck in this one unfortunately. But yeah, there won't be any commentary over the gameplay because it was screen recorded because I was about to go to bed when it came out. It was, so yeah, there won't be any commentary over the opening, and then we will go through and review any skins I didn't get during the opening. So yeah, because I know I'm not going to open the full draw. So yeah, let's get into the lucky draw then, shall we? Okay, so here we are in the lucky draw. As you just saw, we did not get lucky. We got neither of the two legendary things, neither of the two things we wanted in the actual draw. But yeah, so yeah, as you can see, I didn't get anything. But yeah, so here is the this is the rally car, no, muscle car. Honestly, not one of the best. More animation on it needed. The wingsuit, again, it's all right. This one's actually decent. It has more animation on it. I like it. The profile picture, but no one cares about that. Thermite is decent. I have the legendary one. Probably not going to use this one. Yes, we are going through this one quickly. Calling card, if you like that. Emote, I'll show you when we get in training mode. M13 training mode. Thumper, I can also show you in the training mode, although I didn't equip it when we actually played the games. This is a decent thumper skin. Obviously, I do have the legendary, unfortunately, so I will never use this. Then we have the legendary size, kind of like a fire blade kind of theme, and this one's actually quite a nice one, especially compared to the legendary switchblade, which I do have as well. This one's a really nice one. I really do like this one. Of course, the flaming effect is really cool on it, and yeah, as you saw by the thumbnail, of course, it looks really cool. And yes, yeah, really nice, really nice. We're gonna give it about 7 out of 10. And then the legendary Hedorah High. Now you see that one on the left? That's the actual Hedorah High I used during the video. So yeah, just wanted to let you know that. But yeah, this is a decent skin. Probably not really asked for, and it's a bit not too colourful, but it's more like stealthy, which is kind of what I prefer in character skins. Not too much colour, because otherwise you stand out quite well when you're shooting at them. So yeah, definitely quite a nice one. If I go into here, yeah, we'll be able to see. This is the original. I don't know what that means. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, definitely Hedorah Kai Cruel Knight, and it's definitely a cool one. Not one of my favourites though. It's going to get about 6 out of 10. We have the Hollow Watch, which is just flaming one, and it's slightly more 3D than some of the other ones, which is quite cool. But yeah, it's a decent Hollow Watch, I would say. The skill set is a cluster grenade, cluster strike, so you actually might see this one a bit more than some of the others. Sort of like the UAV, not really looking up, whereas the cluster strike comes down and does hit the ground. So this might be a better one than usual than some of the others. So here's the drop stance. It's alright. None of the drop stances are the best, but this one's honestly not one of my favourites. Actually, no, the Mythic Spectre and the Mythic Templar are quite cool. And then finally here is the loot box. Basic one, kind of a bit boring, honestly. It's just dark with like orange lines is the only thing that's cool on it. And the little symbol on it's quite cool. 4 out of 10, honestly though. So yeah, now I'm actually going to be, obviously, like I said in the intro, I'm going to be equipping and it makes a lot of loud noises, of course. We are going to be equipping the M13. The Thumper and the emote, and we're going to be showing them off in the train mode. And of course we are going to be using the M13 because of course I didn't get the legendary sight, and the sight is a secondary weapon, so I'd use the M13 anyway. So yeah, let's get into the train mode, and then we'll show you some ranked gameplays with the M13. Okay, so we've had a bit of a change of plan. As you can see, I don't actually have the Thumper equipped because I remembered we do have the size to check out. Yeah, first of all, let's check out the M13. In terms of the actual skin. Actually, it's a kind of bland one. I thought there'd be more animation. The animation will be more visible than it actually is, but it's actually kind of not too visible. So yeah, and the brown's a bit of a boring colour. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. Also in terms of throw epics, not one of the best. Now in terms of the M13 stats. It's it was definitely a very fun gun to use. Definitely slightly easier to use. You don't have to be as accurate because of the faster fire rate. It's slightly more forgiving if you do miss some of those shots. But yeah, it was felt slightly more versatile than some other SMGs. Than some other ARs because of that faster fire rate, and I find it extremely fun to use. So yeah, here let's add some parts. Why not? I'm not showing myself in a good light here in terms of my aim. But yeah, it was a really fun gun to use. So yeah, definitely one I'd recommend checking out if you want quite a slightly more fast-paced AR, I would say. The advancement accuracy is not the best, but I still felt it could hold up if you were slightly further away from the opponent. Yeah, definitely about a 5 or 6 out of 10 in terms of the fast weight accuracy. Here is the recoil. And you see, kind of wiggles a bit, but it's not too hard, difficult to control once you do learn it. So yeah, definitely one that with slightly less recoil than some of the others. It's kind of like the LK. It has a lot of, well, not very much recoil, which makes it really quite easy to use at long range as a long range laser beam. Then we have the damage. There's a 24 and 36. 24 all the way over and then 36, so to make it a 4th shot you have to hit 1 headshot. You can also make it a 3 shot by hitting 3 headshots, but that is highly unlikely. But yeah, definitely some lower damages, but that's because we have a faster fire rate. So yeah, it's quite easy to achieve the 4 shot kill right there. Again, same profile, damage profile all the way out here. 24, and then so again you really have to do a head and it's a 4 shot. I think that's the fastest fire rate of any AR, but I could be mistaken. Then it goes down to 18 with a 27 headshot. So yeah, not quite as good as some out of that range. So definitely more of a medium range, close to medium range AR, but definitely more of a medium range compared to the close range. Just because of that damage consistency out to the 20 meter range. And yeah, now we have the Asai melee, the new one, of course. Unfortunately, I did not get the legendary, but even so, they have already received a nerf. I think it might be like something like a range nerf or something. Within not very long for them being out, because they were kind of broken. Then they still are very fun to use. They have a very unique inspect animation, and yeah, they're actually really fun to use. They have a really fast swing speed, which helps if you're not so accurate with melees. And also taking out sentry guns is quite quick with them as well. I think it takes like two full swing animations to take out a full sentry gun. So yeah, if you do want to use a melee, I'd actually recommend picking these up because they are quite fun to use. They are very reminiscent of the boxing gloves, I would say, with the fast attack speed but not very good range. So yeah, definitely one to check out if you haven't already. They're going to rate them about a 7 out of 10 melee. But yeah, definitely really fun to use. Of course, I can't show you the damage stats, but they are of course always a 1 shot. I don't think I've got many kills, if any, with the size, unfortunately. But yeah, as you can see, the swing animation is quite cool, and the inspect is definitely unique compared to some of the others we have. He flips them over, and then swings them back out. Yeah, really nice, really fun one to use. I did use it in a couple of free-for-all hardpoint shipments, just running around with it. And yeah, definitely a really fun one to use. Would highly recommend picking it up, and of course it is free as well. So if you did want to get it, it's the free version. And of course, the legendary version is not compulsory. This one, as it doesn't have an iron sight. Of course, it is a melee, and so yeah, there's nothing paid to win about the legendary. They do just look cool. I decided to go with the OG Hadorikai. The first one I ever saw in the shop, which was with the redux of the legendary AK-47 Pumpkinhead. Yeah. So yeah, I wanted to go down because it was the closest one I had to legendary. So yeah, I went ahead, I did that, and yeah, now I have used both of these, and they both feel really good. If you don't know, I do film my ranked gameplays as the first thing I film before I go into the main part of the video. So yeah, hopefully you got lucky than I did in the lucky draw, and yeah, it was super annoying, unfortunately. But yeah, the Infinity was fun to use, and so are the size. But yeah, now let's get into, of course, the ranked gameplay.
Enemy contact! Must leave. Enemy down! Enemy contact! Target down! Tango down! Target down!
turret ready for deployment.
Enemy contact! Tango down! Enemy contact! Tango down! Targets in sight. Target down! Enemy contact with enemy!
Drone deployed.
Enemy
Hunter killer has been destroyed.
targets in sight! I'm hurt! Enemy in sight! Take contact with enemy!
Hostile hunter killer drone inbound.
Tango down!
On the hard point.
Enemy contact! Targets in sight! Target down!
Hard point.
Enemy contact!
Hard point is
Enemy
ours. Hard point contested.
Enemy contact! Tango down!
Friendly hunter killer drone deployed.
Sight!
Counter.
Enemy in sight!
Enemy UAV spotted.
Reloading! Cover me! Enemy contact!
Hard point locked down. Just
Enemy down!
hard point contested. Hard point
Changing
contested.
mag! Contact with enemy.
Our counter UAV. UAV. Hard point locked down.
Reloading! Enemy contact!
Hard point lost.
Targets in sight!
Heads up.
Enemy contact!
Capture the
Tango
objective.
down! Contact with enemy! Target down!
Capture the hard point. Heads up. Enemy UAV.
Contact with enemy!
Hostiles have captured the hard point. We lost the lead. Hard point locked.
Enemy contact! Enemy down!
Hard point identified.
Changing mag!
Advised.
Enemy
Hard
down!
point is ours.
Changing mag! Cover me!
Hard point contested.
Contact with enemy!
Hard point lost. Hard point locked. Hard point is ours.
Oh! Head! Targets in
Be
sight!
advised. Hostile sentry gun spotted.
Enemy down!
Capture the objective. Tested.
Tango down!
Okay, so here's my M13 build. As you can see, it's an active range build, a little bit of increase in control as well. But yeah, I mean, just to make it a long range laser beam, as that's where it mainly does shine. The M13 at least. It was actually a really fun gun to use, as I said. So yeah, we have the RTC heavy long barrel for the minus 7.8% ADS bullet spread, plus 30% damage at range, minus 6% horizontal recoil, and minus 14.7% vertical recoil. We have the no stock, the minus 14 ADS time, plus 3% movement speed, and plus 20% ADS movement speed. We have the OWC tac laser, with minus 8% ADS time, minus 9.2% ADS bullet spread. We have the .300 RTC double stack 40 round mag for the plus 20% damage range, science ability, plus 10 mag capacity, and minus 10 reload speed. This is probably the main one you want to use, the main attachment you want to use. It's basically like almost like an extended mag, a fast reload, and a more lightning suppressor all mashed into one. So yeah. And finally we have the granulated grip tape for the minus 11.6% ADS bullet spread.